Hi everyone. So after yesterday's video of Obsidian, Logseek, Tana, Remnote, etc., what I thought I would do today is a brief video on some of the newer note-taking apps. And I thought we would start off with Orca Notes, which is an app developed by Sethuan. They developed quite a few Logseek plugins. And I think from last year or so, or earlier this year, they started to develop their own note-taking app, which is being billed as good for both outlining and long form writing. And for now, there's only the GitHub page with a bit of a description of what it is. You can run it on Windows and Mac. There is no mobile app yet. Hopefully that's going to be something in the making. And no pricing points or anything yet on that side. So it is all free and it is easily downloadable. And once you download it, what you get presented is this sort of layout, an app. So you've got the left-hand side with a calendar. You can do a new repo or scan for repos, I guess if you're importing a different repo in. These get saved on the location where Orca Notes repos. This is a sample one that I created. I was messing around earlier with some images, so let's get rid of these. And it saves the files as database files. And I don't believe I saw an export yet, but we'll get to that in a second. So you get the calendar, daily notes on the left-hand side, some favorites, tags, aliases. You can hide this, collapse it, etc. You get the date at the top, daily notes, typical fashion, page before, page after. So that's nice and easy to run with. And top, you've got the search, command palette, Control P or Command P. So very similar as Tana, Obsidian, Logseek, command palette. Home takes you home to the journal page, to today's. Dark mode, light mode, some notifications, settings, layouts. And then on the right hand side, you can do split view, wide view, table of contents, referrers, basically links, tags, and whatnot. So what we'll do is, let's just copy in some text from online. So paste it in very easily. Can I do a heading? So I do know you can't do a heading using the typical markdown, but you can do command or control 1, 2, 3, 4 for the headings, bullet numbered lists and texts. You can also insert tables, queries, images, etc., etc. So that worked well. Let's get rid of this. And we'll do some let's just see how it works. That was not correct. So in and out, tab, control tab or shift tab. So very easy as we've seen on the other apps. You can undo quite easily. You can select all and indent, outdent. You can move, you can group, you can collapse, expand quite easily with the keyboard. So alt, up, down, that collapses that level, collapse that level, collapse that level, and then you can open them up again very easily. It'd be nice if there was a bit more of an indication of, is my level collapsed or not? There's just this little arrow here on the left-hand side where you get this hovering thing continuously, which is a little bit annoying after a while. So hopefully that can be fixed with time. And what I haven't worked out really to do is how can I move this level up? That collapses that whole group. Control doesn't, shift control does not. But what I can do is I can do it with the keyboard, with the mouse. So if I move this up, you do get a few things, reference, mirror, move. I mean, if you're just going to move something, it'd be nice if it just moved it, but I'm sure there is a keyboard shortcut, which I just can't work out for the time being. So that was that, so very easy. What you can also do, which is very clever, is similar to LogSeek. If you would click on the bullet point, it would zoom into this level. What you can actually do is you can use focus in or control period or full stop. Click on that and it's kind of created a page, if you will, with the outline, and we can even add to it. And we'll get rid of these ones. And then if we go back, it added it to level 2. Not too sure why. What did I do? Clicked here. Because that one went to a different level. Yeah, so that makes sense because we stopped at level 2A here. If I want to zoom in on this level, I can do control period, and that would focus on this level, and then I can add some text here, and it should appear here. So there we go. And the cool thing is that you can also do it on the full form side. So if I click here on this paragraph, which ends with the question mark both, and focus in, and I go back, you can see it's added the text to that block, if you will. So it's kind of like a block, but allows you to zoom in on a full form and outline. So that is pretty clever. So well done, Sethian, for that, because I've not seen that before. What we'll do is let's just get rid of a bit of text here. Let's try the old copy and paste into Word. So text up here is good. It messes up a little bit on the first outline level for some reason, but then from level 2 it's fine, and then it allows me to do it in a typical Word fashion, in and out. So no issues there, it's just that the first level is messed up. So let's get rid of that. So hopefully that can be fixed as well. I guess it thinks it should be text, but doesn't recognize it, and doesn't recognize it either as a bullet point. So we'll get rid of that. And what we'll do is, let's see if how the images work. So I just copied an image from the internet, paste it in very easily. I can resize very smoothly. I can align left, center, right. Very easy to do. Can make it a little bit bigger. What else can I do? Edit image path. Okay. Show in folder. This just brings up the folder here. So it goes into repos, sample, and assets. So I guess all of the images and assets just get dumped in here. And what else was there? Copy image path and maximize, which goes into the full image. And just out of interest, what happens if I have 2 images? Let's just add another image here, make it a little bit smaller. So if I now maximize, can I scroll through both of them? Yep, I can. So that was the first image and the second image. Pretty cool. You can do it with the keyboard as well. So that is very well done to Sethian. I think though, you just need to make sure that when you close this X and not the top X, because that will close a whole Orca note. So hopefully that can be made a little bit more intuitive, but so far so good. Let's just delete everything. And what you can also do is queries. So if I do one here, or tags, we'll create a tag, we'll go here, and we'll do edit properties. And we'll keep it as text. And we'll move this to, so there's quite a few options that you can do: block, text, number, date, single choice, blah blah blah. And let's just do one more. It'd be nice if when you clicked on it, it would remove this, just so that then you don't have to go back and delete. Let's do single choice, and we'll do red and not red. So what you can do then is, if we go back here, so Harry Potter is J.K. Rowling, date red tomorrow. And again, it would be nice if I could just have the date, or have an option a bit similar to capacities where you can just remove the time. You can only have the date if you want it. And status red, that works quite well. And here, if I do, let's do this book here. Okay, didn't mean to do that. Not sure why it's copying it twice, but never mind. Put that as a book. This is Ethan, date red, 2nd of Jan, and not red. What I can then do is I can click onto the book, and you can see the two here. Let me just fix this one quickly. There we go, so it just appears as text. So it lists them out, and you can play around table. So you can see Quintelligence, Harry Potter, 2 books, the authors, the date read, and the status. You can also add some brief or simple formulas, and you can sort depending on which column, and you can also group by, although there is no group for the time being, because they're all just single books. But let's try doing another book. Let's try and we'll do JK. Oops. We'll leave that. We'll do that. And of course, I spelt it differently. So if you go back, let's edit that. Go back to book. And there we go. So now you have the 2 Harry Potter books grouped by author. What if I want to remove the group? Can I remove it? Nope. No. Author, sorry, yeah, it's at the top. Date read. Okay, it comes up as timestamp, so hopefully that can be fixed as well. That'll just come up the proper date, and status, read, not read, and as we would expect. It'd be nice also if it kept the column width as I've selected, rather than every time. Oh, didn't reset that time. Okay, now it's keeping them. So there we go. So you can do things like that. You can edit them, have two panels. It'd be nice if there was a little X, because I struggled a little bit how to close this panel, and then I realised it's actually here, and you can do close the second panel. What I didn't try is how many panels you can have open. So if I do control there, so it's just one at a time, which is not bad. What happens with a wide view? That just makes it wider. What if I go back to the 30th? Oh yeah, of course, I deleted the text. What if I do this? How does table of content work? So if I do control 1, it adds that, and if I do heading 2, it adds that, so you can collapse, expand on the right hand side. Links, referrers, I've not really played around with them yet, but they're just referring here, backlinks, candidates. I think these are just linked and unlinked references that you can bring in, but very impressive app so far. So well done, Seth Yuan, and really looking forward to seeing what you can develop in 2025. Very, very impressive. That was that. Let's have a look at AppFlowy next. So AppFlowy's been around for a while. Very frequent updates. If we just go here, this one here. So every few weeks or so, significant updates by the team. So a couple of weeks they did a few things, simple tables. 3 weeks ago, 27 days ago, late November, early November, etc., etc. You get the point. So you can have typical text. This one works with Markdown type. I will get there one time. So you can just have normal text. You can also do the outline in a similar way as we would expect. Indent, outdent. You can select the whole block. You can't zoom in on the block as we saw in Orca Notes. So that's new there. You can not, from what I can see, collapse, expand these blocks. Oops, nope. Even got angry with the mouse there. So that doesn't work, but what I think you can do is the typical Notion way, is rather than use the outline, you can use these toggle blocks, which I personally don't really understand. I would just rather have the outline and then collapse and expand as I go along rather than having these headings. Similar thing, let's just check what happens if I copy something from the internet. Let's get rid of all of this. Oops, not paste it as heading 1. So you can paste it. It doesn't quite, oh, I guess it does. If you paste it with the keep text only rather than the formatting, Control-Shift-V, it does keep the layout of the text that we've copied in. And let's see in terms of images. If I paste this, it does the same thing. I can resize it. Yep. I can center it, left, right, align, so this is quite clever as well. Surprised not more note-taking apps do this. And then I can put some text in, and what happens if I now paste it into Word? It pastes it all in bold for some strange reason. Let me just make sure it wasn't, okay. It was my Word that messed up. So it pastes it easily, pastes it fine, the image is fine. It doesn't keep the layout of the outline, and also it doesn't for some reason it didn't copy this last toggle list. What happens if I just copy this? So it just does not like copying the toggle list, so it's something to look into. What you can do as well is code blocks, references, etc. So this one is definitely one to keep an eye out on. It is free. You can, I'm just trying to find it. Here we go. You can have AI within it, but you need to get a package for that, or one of the premium packages. Mobile, it works on mobile, and a lot going on within AppFlowy, so definitely one to keep an eye out on for the future. What we'll do next, similar sort of thing, let's look at Noteey. So Noteey, this is the first time I really download it and open it. It seems to be a cross between, I don't know, Obsidian, Heptabase, Logseek, because what you've got is the journal, dates across the top, and you can have the calendar view over here, so you can easily navigate to different days. You can have the right sidebar open and closed with the library, your journals, or your highlights from different documents. And these library documents you can open up here. So these are the ones that come in with the app once you install it, and then you can see the library here as well. Different embeds that you can import, or you can embed within it. You can expand the card. You can go to a project, create a new project or a new card. Let me just paste some text. When it's created, a bit of information here, that's useful. Delete duplicate. And what happens to the card is all. Last viewed, getting started. Tags. I'm not sure what happened to the card that I just created. Oh. Here it is. So how do I add it here? What happens if we open this? Okay, so I can create a new card. What if I want to bring in my new card in here? Boards, frames, card. It's just a case of how do I add in my card? Library. Export to Markdown useful, export PDF useful, but I can't really work out how to add it in. Maybe this is something that needs to be studied in a little bit more detail. What I'll do is I'll play around with the app a little bit more and we shall see how that goes. Although, let me just see if I import Markdown. Let me just see downloads. Your cards have been viewed, fine. And again, where do the cards go? Okay, so it didn't really import the card properly. Because if I open this one here, amber spyglass. There should have been a few things at least brought in, but I didn't copy anything in, so that's something that needs to be looked into. And I'm also not 100% sure how I can link things. So if I want to call this my book, how do I bring in input link? Nope. How do I now bring in the cards which I've just added? Don't really get that, but something that I need to study a little bit more. Okay, so it's on this one. So we can click here, add to project, we'll add it to the books project, and what happens now? So I added the cards here, and then I guess I can just play around with them. Card is already on the board. I'm not too sure where. I'll just put them one above the other. So yeah, I can play around with it. So it's a bit of a mix between Skrintl, Heptabase and Obsidian, if you will, but not as intuitive to get started as the other couple of apps that we've looked at, but certainly something for the future to look into, as it does seem to have a lot of potential going for it. So that's something definitely worthwhile having a look at. Another one which I wanted to touch upon was Constella, but unfortunately you cannot do much for now, because if you want to get started you need to sign up and you get notified of when you get access. So we'll park this one, and last but not least we'll look at MeBot, which is one that I've just come across recently. It's been around for a while, I think, from July 2023, if I remember right. And what it's billed as is keep your self-trained bot that keeps memories and sparks creativity. Basically, a second brain. So let's just have a look through it. So you log in, sign up, and you get presented with this. So let's just try and have a quick look through. How can I type some new memo? Where does this go? That goes here. I can add some tags, I guess. How can I see, what's this, daily link? Let's do an import of Markdown. Select Markdown folder, okay. So just dragged and dropped 10 or so files. Let's do import to see what happens. So we can close this, I guess. Importing 0 of 10. Whilst that's doing that, it is also meant to be very secure. Handle data very seriously. USDP and GDPR, anonymity, end-to-end encryption, confidential, data fortress. It's got all the right words, but I need to study a little bit more the privacy policy and the securities just to really see what it is. Because I mean, what happens to my data? It's basically stored on Microsoft Azure, kept safe, end-to-end encryption, although here it says TLS encryption. You won't use your data and you can retrieve it, export it in Markdown. What happens if I quit? You can get it emailed, or if you delete it, you can get it from here. And is this done yet? So, okay, that's finished. Okay, so it's just imported the books in its individual file or cards. Wouldn't expect it to work 100% because the other ones are from Obsidian, so obviously each one has their different format. Although it did import the image, which is quite good. It imported the tags. What if I just copy this here? Nope. Okay, I'm not sure why I can't just paste the title. Why can I not copy? Okay, so the copy doesn't work. No idea why. Something to look into, I'm sure, from the developers, as I'm not sure why it just doesn't allow me just to copy something simple. So we'll keep that. I'll go back. How does this look now? It's not lock. Okay. Let's see if this, so it recognises the book, but is this now coming from my card or from just the internet? Let's see what I had wrote, or what AI had wrote for me, I should say. So it looks a bit different. Two related memories. Which ones? It's Not Luck and The Alchemist. Interesting. So basically links the different cards together. So that's quite clever. And I'm sure as you build up your knowledge base and have more and more cards, it will be a bit more intuitive rather than just the one. Let's see what library is. There should be all the cards that I've brought in. Markdown, business topics. It's quite clever because you can get free 30 days unlimited chats and memories. So if you log in for 2 days and you do different things for the 2 days, you can get free, an extended free trial, I should say. It's not that pricey, so free gives you 100 memories per month, 100 chat messages per month, and 10 megabytes per file. And the Pro, $100 per year, unlimited chats, unlimited memories, 15 megabytes per file, and early access to new features. So I will play around with this one also a little bit more because it seems to be quite clever, just to see what you can do and how it works. What happens if I convert to note? Adding a note, capturing the essence. Okay, fine. And then it just created it here. That's good. And what if I do a quick search? It could be a little bit quicker, I'll be honest, but it's because it's not searching just it's not luck, it's searching every single letter, which is not great. And again, it's doing the same thing. So it'd be nice if that was a little bit tweaked, because obviously it's slow, because it's searching absolutely everything. But at least when it comes up, is it because of this? Let me just try. Yeah, okay, that's a bit better. So no idea why, I guess with the apostrophe, it's confusing the search. That was a lot quicker than with the other one. So a few things to look into. It seems to be a good app with quite a bit of potential, but it does need a little bit of playing around with to try and understand how it all fits in together. So hopefully you found that useful, and there's a few apps here that you might look into a little bit more further. And if you've got any questions, please let me know. So thanks very much for watching. Bye.